Hey, welcome into Live in the Bay. We have a great show for you today. Coming up, we meet members of the U.S. Air Force sharing how service can open doors to opportunity, education, and a future full of possibilities. Then we're checking out the arts. Red Curtain Addict is back with the can't miss performances lighting up the Bay Area stages this month. Plus, a powerful and deeply moving art experience. 1-800-HAPPY-BIRTHDAY honors lives lost while bringing communities together through storytelling and remembrance. And we're turning up the heat with Chicken Drip. They're serving up bold Nashville-style fried chicken that's making serious noise around the Bay. There's so much happening today on Live in the Bay. Welcome into Live in the Bay. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Jessica Wills. Hope you all are having a great week. A little rainy out there today, right? But that's okay. We have such a fun show lined up here, and I'm so excited to get to all of our guests. But of course, let's get this show started with In Case You Missed It and get you caught up on some headlines. All right, it is a big day for NASA's Artemis II moon launch. It's the first moon mission in more than 50 years. 4 astronauts are set to blast off from Cape Canaveral, Florida later this afternoon. They plan 10-day flight will cover approximately 685,000 miles as the spacecraft loops around the moon before returning back to Earth. This mission is also making history. Christina Koch will become the first woman to travel around the moon, and Pomona native Victor Glover will be the first black astronaut to do the same. Glover is piloting the mission, so this is so exciting. Everyone has been waiting for this. Today was the first official day of launch, and we've been waiting to see, will it happen, will it not? And it looks like it is this afternoon. An astronomer from the Shabbat Space and Science Center will join us live for real-time analysis. We'll also have live reports from our crews at Kennedy Space Center in Florida, and we'll carry the entire launch live as it happens. It all starts right here at 3 p.m. All right, this Oscar-winning movie is being transformed into a Broadway musical. Take a look.
You don't have to be rich to be my pearl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world.
I found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of Lonely Street, at Heartbreak Hotel, and I said,
Happy Feet is being developed into a Broadway musical. The show is being directed by 2-time Tony winner Michael Arden, and the musical will feature songs from the original motion picture as well as other chart-topping favorites. No word yet on when the show will debut or who has been cast, but the 2006 film included the vocal talents of Elijah Woods, Robin Williams, Brittany Murray, Hugh Jackman, and Nicole Kidman. So we know that this is going to be such a hit. This was a hit when it first debuted, and I feel like everyone loved this, and so seeing it on the Broadway stage, I'm sure it'll be fantastic. All right, the New York Yankees are offering a unique dessert at their home games this season. Check out this mini dessert chicken bucket. It looks like a piece of fried chicken, but it's not actually chicken. It's actually a drumstick-shaped ice cream with a chocolate-covered cookie bone center. It features a coating of white chocolate and then candy cornflakes on top to make it look like an actual piece of chicken. The mini desserts are served in a souvenir mini chicken bucket. These are so fun. I kind of love when something looks like something, but it's something else, right? And then, of course, it coming in the souvenir bucket. I think this is going to be a grand slam, if you will. All right, get ready to scream for the 8th time. Take a look.
oh, I'm not hiding, Sydney. Not this time.
Ghostface is not hanging up the mask anytime soon. Spyglass just announced an 8th installment of the Scream franchise is officially in the works. This comes right after February Scream 7 slashed its way to more than $200 million at the box office. And get this, the franchise is now 30 years old and still one of the most iconic in horror. Proof you can run, but you definitely can't hide. It is so crazy to think that this is 30 years old, and you know, having the last movie release, a 7, it took so long for the new one to come out, for a 7 to come out, and clearly it was a hit with everyone. I think that just truly shows this is an iconic character and people still love to see it. So an 8th one in the works. We'll bring you more details as we get them. All right, Costco's most famous food court item is getting a boozy glow up. The iconic $1.50 hot dog combo has inspired a bourbon that's now going viral and flying off the shelves. It's called I Got That Dog in Me, and the bottle even features the classic hot dog combo, just like you'd see on a Costco menu. The release is part of a collaboration with a rare character whiskey, and if you can track one down, it'll cost you about $86. And don't worry, the tasting notes do not include pork parts or hot dog water. It's actually been aged nearly 12 years, and reviewers say that it is pretty dang good. I'm sure that is why it is also flying off the shelves, right? I love it when Costco kind of has these partnerships or, you know, doing something fun, creative, that people really get excited about. So here's another one. If you happen to get that whiskey, I think that's a pretty good score. All right, we are moving on. Today is April Fool's Day, and BJ's Restaurant and Brew House is back at it again with another wild Pizookie creation. You might remember last year's fried prickle Pizookie that blew up online. Well, this year, they're turning up the heat. Say hello to the Sweet Heat Pepperoni Pizookie. It starts off innocent enough, just like every Pizookie, warm cookie chunk topped with 2 scoops of vanilla bean ice cream, and then it's layered with pepperoni and drizzled with Mike's hot honey for that sweet and savory kick. It sounds like a prank, but it's actually very real. And the only trick, it's just $4.01 for one day only. That is today, 4/1, and it is for dine-in only. So I don't know what I think about this. A lot going on, but I think whenever there's a sweet and savory combo, it usually tends to be pretty good, right? So as long as you like pepperoni, if you like those hot honey pizzas, I can kind of see how it could taste good with some cookie and ice cream, right? I don't know, maybe you'll try it out. It'll be there for today only. All right, it is now time for our question of the day. We want to know, what's the best prank you've ever pulled or had pulled on you? Go ahead and scan that QR code on your screen or head to Instagram and Facebook at Live in the Bay to send us your answers. We would love to hear from you. I love hearing about April Fool's Day pranks or pranks getting done. I think that they're always hilarious, right? Thinking back on some of the pranks I've done, there's one that always sticks out in my mind. My ex-boss at the place I used to work at, we completely foiled his office. So any single thing that was in there had foil. We did the walls, we did the chair, the desk, every little knickknack on the desk. He even had glasses there that we foiled. So he ended up coming in the morning and was just in total shock, but he loved it. And so there was some really cool photos of him kind of sitting in his foiled chair, which foil everywhere, and then he had his little foil glasses on. So it was quite a scene, if you can imagine walking into some place and it just being completely covered in aluminum foil everywhere you turned. I thought it was pretty cool. All right, I want to hear from you guys. I know there's some good pranks out there that you've seen or been a part of yourself. So scan the QR code, send them in, and we would love to hear from you. While you do that, I'm going to send things over to Brady to get a check-in on this weather. But Brady, any pranks that you've been involved in?
I'm not really a prankster, believe it or not. I don't love specifically April Fool's Day, and I don't know why, but I think that I love a good-hearted prank. Sometimes they go a little too far, and they can be kind of mean, and I don't love that, but good-hearted pranks, I want to hear about those. I like the nice ones, the fun ones. Right now, weather's no joke. We've actually got some rain out there. We saw some of that yesterday, a little bit more of that out there at this point today. A lot of cloud cover. If you're not seeing the rain, you're probably noticing that it is very cloudy. Also, our temperatures are quite cool. We're in the 60s, even in the 50s right now in Concord as some rain moves through, chilling us off just a little bit. We'll warm up a touch out there today, mostly into the 60s, so very similar to yesterday, along with those showers. You can see here a little bit of moisture still making its way through the Bay Area. So into the East Bay, we do still have some of that rainfall just dancing around Concord there. You can see some sprinkles around Vallejo, San Ramon, and then we do have a little bit of that along the coast, so Half Moon Bay still getting a few showers as well. Over the next few hours, I think things will wind down a little bit. Still some pop-up showers, but picking up once again, hopefully after you're home and settled for the night. After about 6, 7 o'clock, this is when they'll become the most widespread, lingering into our overnight hours. But by tomorrow, things are going to start to shape up really nicely. By the time you're getting out and about for your Thursday, some sunshine. Temperature's still a little bit cool tomorrow in the 60s, but we have 70s by Friday, 80s into the weekend, a little cool off into early next week, but things are going to stay dry after tomorrow. Jess?
Brady, thank you so much for that update. Still to come here on Live in the Bay, a closer look at the opportunities, benefits, and real-life experiences with the U.S. Air Force. We'll chat about them. And later, things heat up in the kitchen with chicken drip. They're serving up bold Nashville-style fried chicken, and we'll get a taste test. All of that and so much more when Live in the Bay returns in 2 minutes. Stay with us. If you've ever wondered what life in the U.S. Air Force is really like, this is for you. From paid training and job security to travel, education, and housing benefits, there's a lot more to it than you might think. Here to break it all down and share his own story is Staff Sergeant Derek Casha. Sergeant Derek, thank you so much for being here at Live in the Bay.
Feel good to be back.
It's great to have you, yes. And I want to revisit your story. You know, tell me about your experience and how this has changed you.
Yes, so originally born from Detroit, Michigan, born and raised. And when I graduated high school back in 2010, seems so quick now, I didn't know what to do, but I went to a university. I went there for 2 years, and it didn't really work out, and led me to drop out. And it took me 7 years to find my path.
Wow.
And that was thanks to my older brother and thanks to my mom to help support me to enlist in the Air Force.
Yeah, and so once you found that path, how did you tie into being a part of the Air Force?
Yeah, so once I found that path, of course I got to go through the qualifications to enlist in the Air Force, speaking with a recruiter. And when I spoke with my recruiter, he gave me like all the benefits that the Air Force have, whether it's the travel benefits. Travel benefits is like #1 on my tier because I lived in Detroit my whole life.
Yeah, okay, incredible. And then you also said that your family had an opportunity to come out and see you work. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, so since I've been doing this job for 2 years now, my mom come and visit from Detroit, and she had my nephew tag along. And every single month as a recruiter, we have what we call recruit calls, where all the recruits I'm working with and my office mate work with, we go meet up at a location and do like an Air Force PT test. And I was briefing them. And at the end of the brief, my mom told me, she said, "You know what your nephew said about you?" I was like, "No, Mom." She said, "Your nephew said, 'Mom, is Uncle Derek the boss?'" And she was like, "Yes." He was like, "That's cool. I want to be just like my Uncle Derek," and very emotional. I was feeling that. So I know that I'm a role model to my family. And my nephew.
Absolutely. Definitely so emotional to see firsthand, especially with a family member, the direct impact that you are making. You're also making an impact in a lot of students' lives. You go around speaking to college students and high school students and talking about the opportunities that you guys offer. I want to dive into some of those. And why don't we start with lifestyle? So I learned, you know, the Air Force will actually pay people to go to training. Tell me a little bit about, you know, going through training and kind of that experience.
Yeah, so once you graduate basic training, you got to go to technical school training for your job. And it's paid for training. And when you go through your tech school training, you get certifications for your job. And these are the same certifications you get at some of these local colleges.
Yeah, and this kind of can help with some job security, right? So you know you're going through this training, and then how is that helping with the job security part of it?
Yes, so the job security in the Air Force, you can't beat that. A lot of these jobs out here, so since I've been out here for a while, I get a lot of people come to me, my job just laid me off. I said, the Air Force, you don't have to worry about these issues because we have the best job security that you can have.
Yeah, and I actually learned there are over 140 different jobs in the Air Force. I mean, that kind of blew my mind. I had no idea. You know, so you can do all of these jobs, you get that experience, and then this will help you transfer if you want to later in the future, right?
Yes, and actually it's even more than 140. It's over 200 different jobs that you have. And some of the jobs that the Air Force we look for, mainly is aircraft maintenance, law enforcement, and special warfare too as well.
And so how can those tools, everything they learn, kind of transfer as well in the future if they decide to transfer out? How does your experience kind of carry with you the rest of your life?
Yeah, so the experience that you get through the Air Force, through your career, right? And also it'll depend on the type of enlistment that you do too as well. So we have a 4 or 6-year enlistment. Doing a 6-year enlistment is a lot more better when you decide to get out because you have more experience while applying for a job. So as an aircraft maintainer and you work on jet engines, you did it for 6 years in the Air Force, that's a good experience if I translate into the civilian world.
Yeah, incredible. I mean, that is really just so much opportunity there. There's also some benefits with education. Talk to me about the educational benefits that you can get as well.
Yes, and I wish I would have took advantage of this when I decided to graduate high school and go to university because college is very expensive. You can get into $30,000, $100,000 in debt, and the Air Force can help support that. And while you serve in the Air Force, you get tuition assistance, $4,500 annually, and you decide to get out, you can use your GI Bill too as well to cover for expenses.
Yeah, that's so incredible. For you, I want to bring it back to, your experience and just what's the biggest lesson that you've taken? It's been some time, you've been in the Air Force and everything you've got to do and all the time that you're serving now. What's the biggest lesson that you would like to share with others?
Yes, my biggest lesson is I wish I would have joined straight out of high school. Now, coming from a big city, Detroit, nobody wanted to join the service, but I would have joined the service at the age of 17. I'll be retiring in another like 4 years. So I missed out on a lot of years not deciding to enlist a lot sooner.
Yeah. So you love it so much you would do it sooner. I love that. Yeah, that's a great answer. Well, Derek, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you want to learn more about the 364th Recruiting Squadron and career opportunities, head to airforce.com. And we'll also post a link on our website, liveinthebay.tv. Coming up, if you're looking for your next night out, we've got you covered. Red Curtain Addict is back with a fresh list of must-see performances happening all across the Bay this month. And as we head to break, you can still answer our question of the day. Scan the QR code right there. Today we want to know what's the best prank you've ever pulled or had pulled on you. Let us know and your answer could be read a little bit later in the show. But don't go anywhere. Live in the Bay. We'll be right back. April is packed with incredible performances in the arts around the Bay Area, and if you're looking for something new to experience, we've got you covered. Carrie Kuhlman, CEO and founder of Red Curtain Addict, is helping us find the best shows happening this month, from jazz and symphony to theater and dance. Carrie, always good to see you.
Good to see you too. There is a lot of arts in bloom this spring. It's hard to narrow down this list.
Yeah, I know. A new month means we have a whole new opportunity to experience the arts, so I'm excited that you're breaking it all down for us. Where should we start?
Every time I come and bring on these lists, there's 3 things I keep in mind, just so you know it's not just what Carrie likes, is there's a method to this.
Yeah.
So what's unique, what's noteworthy, no pun intended, and then what has that San Francisco flair, and then also not only just for the arts goers, but if you're new to the arts, what's a good entry point?
Ooh,
so
I like
all
that.
these kind of things come into the mix when I was thinking about this list. Again, it was really hard to narrow it down this spring. This April. But first off, if you're looking for a staycation, maybe you want a flair of another city, but you don't have quite yet the time, or you're saving up for that summer trip, you want to stay local, I've got just the thing. So it's going to be the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. It's going to be at the Presidio Theater on April 9th. Have you heard of this group before?
No, I haven't.
This is a really great one. So what it is it's not only a band, but it's an institution that preserves the jazz sound of New Orleans. And not only is a band, it's not a set group of members in the band. It's actually a rotating group that's multi-generational, and each one of these members, most of the members, have some sort of tie to the historical families that helped shape jazz in New Orleans.
Wow.
So if you really are looking for that true sound of New Orleans, you can't get away just yet.
Yeah.
This is the thing, and if you go early, there's some festivities, you can get some drinks, cocktails, some bites that makes you feel like you're in New Orleans.
Okay, that's a great experience indeed. All right, what about something for the families?
Yes, so for the family, something that's been starting the past few years at San Francisco Symphony is the teen night. And so if you have a teen in your family and you're looking to get them out in the music, it's really important to get your young adults out there starting to get acquainted with the arts, knowledge. That really helps the future of the arts, right? So the San Francisco Symphony has created these experiences that are interactive. There's trivia, there's games. So it's really kind of fun, immersive, and they bring it big. So I was talking to the conductor, and he's like, we go big with these experiences because we want these teens to get the true sound of what an orchestra can be. There's just really nothing like it. When you hear a grand orchestra, 120 plus musicians on one stage, how wonderful it can be. So there's some familiar pieces that you might know from films, but there's just some of those stage staples. So it's a really great thing. Take your teen out, and it's also great for the parents.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure that is a moment that young teens who haven't experienced this yet, if they're doing it for the first time, will truly remember.
Yeah, and the youth orchestra, actually, there's some of the stars are going to be in this performance, so they can see others of their age on stage and say, maybe there's some inspiration there, like, maybe I could do this.
Yeah, okay, so fun. What about for the film buffs?
Okay, so for film buffs and maybe dance fanatics, there's a 2-in-1. The San Francisco Dance Film Festival is an incredible organization based in San Francisco, obviously, and their mission is to bring dance to more people through the medium of film. And they're going to be they have a festival, they do series of screenings, and this upcoming screening is the La Prix, and it's about a prestigious dance competition that takes place in Switzerland, and it's called Prix de Lausanne, and it follows some of these people coming into the competition to see what it takes to be into this. So if you like watching dance competitions, or you're curious on the craft of what it takes to be the best dancer in ballet, this is that. And I will say too, you know, in professions, a lot of times you don't start honing your craft until you're an adult. But when you think about the arts, you know, classical music, dance, jazz, just like sports, you start at such a young age, right? So this is a lifetime of work. So to get a peek into that is this, and that's going to take place on April 23rd at the Toby Atrium Theater.
Okay, very cool. I always love to see a peek behind the curtain.
Me too.
I love to see a behind the scenes of whatever it is, a food show, you know, dance, the Dallas cheerleaders, like anything that takes us behind the scenes, like I love. So that is definitely up my alley.
It's gonna be fun.
Yes. Okay, what about theater? Of course, we got to bring in some theater.
Ooh, okay, so this is very exciting. Did you see the movie Hamnet?
I did not.
Oh my gosh, Jessica, you have to watch it.
I'm sorry, I'm breaking your heart here.
I know,
I'm sorry.
Come on, Jessica. No, it's great. So the film won a ton of awards this year. Jessie Buckley, who played Agnes Shakespeare, she was incredible. I actually got to meet her at the Mill Valley Film Festival when they premiered it here back in November. But what is exciting, if you love this film, or you're more of, maybe I'm not a movie person, but I'm a theater person, this is the U.S. premiere of that show coming onto the stage at ACT Theater. So it kicks off April 22nd through May 24th. And just a really quick insider in this story, there's this belief that the premise is that Hamnet is based, or Hamlet, popular, is based on Shakespeare's son. So there was some sort of inspiration behind that, because at the time, Hamnet and Hamlet was interchangeable. So they said, okay, if that is the case, if we peek into the world of William Shakespeare, Agnes Shakespeare, what is that? And it follows that journey. And I'll tell you, it brings out every emotion possible. So I'm really excited to see how this comes into live theater. So it'll be really fun.
I'm going to put it on my list. I'm going to watch that for you, Carrie. We have to get to the out-of-the-box concert experience quickly. Tell me about this one.
Out of the box, so One Pound Sound, they are an incredible orchestra. They shake things up in the classical world. They're a democratic orchestra. What that means is there is no artistic director. There is no conductor. It's all actually molded and formed by the musicians equally. And so if you're looking for something out of the box, there's an upcoming performance called Mercurial, and it's going to take place at Heron Arts, which is an old fire station from the 1900s converted into an arts studio. And you'll get to see some of these pieces, some new world premieres by composers under 30 years old. And it's just a really interactive experience. They're one of my favorite groups in the Bay. You definitely want to put that on your list.
Okay, awesome. Carrie, these are all so good. I feel like every single one is so good. And you said there are so much more.
There is.
So we'll have to go to the website to learn about everything else that you can enjoy this April. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thanks, Jessica.
Yeah, to learn more about Red Curtain Addict, head over to redcurtainaddict.com. We'll also link it to our website, liveinthebay.tv. When we come back, a first look at Amazon's live-action Masters of the Universe, He-Man, Skeletor, epic battles, and a shattered Eternia. We'll take a look at the trailer. Don't go anywhere. Live in the Bay. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Live in the Bay. I'm Jessica Wills. Still to come here on the show, we'll dive into the moving stories behind 1-800-HAPPY-BIRTHDAY, a powerful project honoring Black and brown lives lost to police violence. Plus, get ready to spice things up with Chicken Drip and their famous Nashville-style fried chicken. The heat levels go from mild to holy chick. We'll taste some. But first, let's see what you had to say about our question of the day today. It is April Fool's. Don't get fooled out there, guys, but we were talking about pranks. So what's the best prank you've ever pulled or had pulled on you? I'm excited to get to our viewer answers. Let's bring in our first one. This one's coming from Monica, thanks for watching, who said, I told my mom I was pregnant on April Fool's. 1 year later, I had a 3-week-old son. Okay, so you spoke it into the universe, and that joke might have been a joke on you, but a happy one, right? All good. Monica, thank you so much for sharing that. Let's bring in our next viewer, Macy, thanks for watching, who said, I parked my principal's car in the school library for our senior prank. Okay, that is kind of a good one. I wish I could see pictures of this, because a car parked in the library, I'm sure that all the students were going crazy, and I'm sure the principal was like, what is going on? That is awesome, Macy. Thank you for that. Let's bring in our last viewer. Landon, thanks for watching, who said, my brother and I were merciless to each other. Worst prank was X-Lax in the milk. Oh no! Oh no, that is like the worst nightmare for me. I feel like Dumb and Dumber, we've seen that movie, right? This is what happens in there, some X-Lax, and I've been scarred ever since. That is kind of awful. That is definitely a prank to pull off on your sibling. I guess sibling, you have that rivalry, you can like do that, right? I don't know. These are all good. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in their pranks today. We always love to hear from you. In our viewer voice, we pose a different question every day, and you can scan the QR code, or you can always go to our social media pages, Live in the Bay TV, to answer on Instagram and Facebook. It's one of our favorite parts of the day to interact with all of you and hear from you. All right, when we come back, we'll meet Benjamin B.J. McBride, the curator behind 1-800-HAPPY-BIRTHDAY, and hear how this moving project honors Black and brown lives lost to police violence. Stay right there. Live in the Bay. We'll be right back. Welcome back. A moving project turning remembrance into action, honoring Black and brown lives lost to police violence. Joining us now, curator Benjamin B.J. McBride, here to share the story behind 1-800-HAPPY-BIRTHDAY and what this project means for the Bay Area community. B.J., thanks for being here at Live in the Bay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so tell me the story about 1-800-HAPPY-BIRTHDAY.
It started off as a film series, actually, led by Muhammad Georgistani, who's the artist behind the project. Transitioned from a film series to a digital voicemail project where we allowed individuals to call and leave happy heavenly birthday messages for individuals who transition due to police violence. From there, we decided to try to bring it into the physical realm, which is we had an opportunity to get about 20 phone booths from New York City. They were discontinuing the phone booths in New York, and we figured out a way of refabricating these phone booths and putting the voicemails as part of the experience. So right now we have about 12 families that are part of the project, 12 celebrants that we're honoring their lives and their humanity, and it's a really creative way to kind of keep the legacy and the life of these individuals around and alive.
Yeah, that's incredible. And now it's turned into this exhibition.
Yeah.
There's 2 locations, one in San Francisco, one in Oakland. Tell me about the exhibitions.
Yeah, the exhibitions are a huge piece of the project. We were able to partner with Foresight in San Francisco, a part of the FOG Art and Design Week. And then we were also able to partner with the Black Panther Party Museum, where we were able to honor the life of Oscar Grant, who would have been turning 40 on February 27th. It was a really pinnacle year for him, pinnacle year for that narrative and that story, and we thought it would be a amazing opportunity to tell that story around Oscar and really highlight his life in a really powerful way.
Yeah, this has been going on for about 10 years, you told me.
Yeah.
This is kind of an idea that changed into all these different formats. And so, what is the impact that you guys have aimed to have with it, and what have you seen as far as the impact that it has had for other people?
Yeah, I think the impact is really shifting the narrative. I think so often these individuals are only known by the unfortunate event that happened to them, but by focusing on their birthdays, we actually grant an opportunity for people to see the true humanity of the individual, the fact that they went to Little League just like us, the fact that their families still miss them and long for that connection in really powerful ways. So I think the project really centers their humanity, and I think that's the thing that's like really moving for folks. I think it puts us at a starting point where we can start to engage and have a deep dialogue and conversation hopefully to prevent these types of things from happening in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so powerful. I love this work that you guys are doing and just so creative as well. All the different renditions that you've had for it. You know, what's next for this project?
So, I mean, we've had an incredible launch in the Bay Area. We've had an extension at the Black Panther Party Museum to April 11th due to popular demand, so we're really excited around that. But as we close off, we're thinking about taking the project back to New York, honoring the life of Eric Gardner, another individual, another family who's a part of the project. I think that's the next iteration. We have a couple of different projects. We have a new website that we're launching for the project. We have a book that we're working on. So as you said, like many iterations and different ways of telling the narrative, but I think that's really what the focus is just making sure that we are honoring these individuals and really keeping their lives and their legacies intact in the forefront of the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think truly, what just keeps coming to mind is just how powerful this is. Yeah. You know, for you, how has this changed you?
I mean, I've always looked at creative ways of trying to be impactful in my community. I think storytelling and narrative is a really powerful piece. And, you know, I think it's given me an opportunity to engage deeply with the families, not just to be online doing activism, but like really in the field with the people, engaging in a really powerful way. So it's changed me in really beautiful ways, and I'm looking forward to continuing the process and learning and growing and you know, experiencing the next iterations of the project.
Yeah, what have you seen in terms of healing, not only for the families, but for communities? How has this helped people to heal?
Well, I think about an activation that we did where we allowed community members to come in and write letters to loved ones that they've lost due to violence or due to police interactions. And that was a really powerful moment because what happened was folks started to remember that, you know, they haven't really had space and time to think about the grief that they were holding. So I think that just by offering this project, by giving people an opportunity to pause, to think about the losses that they've incurred is also a really powerful opportunity for us to really kind of do some deep digging and really kind of experience healing for ourselves.
Yeah, well, BJ, this is just truly remarkable. I greatly salute and applaud all the work that you guys are doing, and I just want to thank you so much for joining us to share about it. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Yes,
thank you.
Of
Appreciate
course.
it.
If you want to learn more about 1-800-HAPPY BIRTHDAY Project, head over to our website, liveinthebay.tv. We will post all the details there. After the break, meet the owner behind the heat and crunch here in the Bay. Chicken Drip is serving up a feast you won't want to miss. We'll taste some. And as we head to break, here's a look at what you can catch tonight right here on KRON4. Stay right there. Live in the Bay is coming right back. Spice, flavor, and a whole lot of personality, this Bay Area hotspot is turning heads and tempting taste buds. Joining us now to share the story behind the heat and the hype is Zach, owner of Chicken Drip, here to talk about Nashville-style fried chicken, the unique flavor levels, and what makes this fast-growing restaurant a local sensation. Zach, thanks for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
Yes, I am so excited to dive into this. And let me tell you, people get excited about Nashville-style chicken. I'm sure you already know, but in the building, everyone has been so excited. So tell me how Chicken Drip got started.
Yeah, for sure. So straight out of college, I was kind of looking for the next big thing. We started as a food truck.
Why'd you want to do Nashville-style chicken here in the Bay?
Yeah, so I realized there's a gap in the market, and we were actually one of the first people in San Jose to open up a Nashville hot chicken spot. And I kind of took a risk out of college. It was COVID times. There was like a lot of restaurants shutting down, and I kind of just took the risk, saved up all my savings, and I bought a food truck. And from there, we scaled from 1 location to 2 locations, and our 3rd right now. And in Union City, it's our first drive-through location as well.
Amazing. Okay, you guys, I heard, have a pretty unique way of marketing yourself. There is a Lamborghini that's involved. Tell me about this story.
Yeah, so actually I got the Lamborghini as a gift for myself for my 1-year anniversary for our store.
Congratulations, a great
Thank
way
you.
to celebrate.
I appreciate that. It was more than just, I feel like the Lamborghini was more than, like people think it's just as a flex, but it's more than that. It's actually to show what's really possible when you pursue something with passion and you put in all your hard work. You end up getting the results.
Okay, and is it covered in chicken? What's going on with the Lamborghini?
Yeah, so we put all our logos on it. A lot of people take pictures with it. It's actually a really great advertisement tool. We're actually one of the first restaurants in the world to actually put our name on a Lamborghini.
Okay, there you go. We're going big, right? We're going big at Chicken Drip, and we got to dive into all the eats. So what are you guys serving up?
Yeah, so we have a pretty limited menu. It consists of chicken sandwiches and tenders and loaded mac, loaded fries. Our top sellers are the number 2, which is a sandwich, tender, and fries. And our second most popular is the loaded mac. So it comes with fries, chopped up chicken, mac and cheese on top. And we have spice levels ranging from no spice all the way up to our hottest called Holy Chick, where we actually use Carolina Reaper, and we kind of do it as more of a challenge.
Oh my gosh, do people order that Holy Chick pretty often?
We get it on the regular, a few times a week for sure. People want to challenge themselves to try the hottest one.
Yeah, can you eat that one?
Well, I had to eat all of the spice levels because I made the recipes.
Yeah, okay. That's too hot for me, I'll tell you that right now.
For sure.
Definitely.
These are all medium right now,
Okay.
so it should be good.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Well, I'm gonna dive in, and this is you said this is the most popular one. It's the sandwich along with an extra chicken breast or an extra chicken piece.
Tender.
Yeah, chicken tender. That's a lot of chicken in an order, so I like that. I don't think I've ever seen the sandwich and then get an extra piece of chicken.
Yeah.
But yeah, my producer said I have to taste this, so I'm just gonna dive right in. And what I see right now that I love is lots of pickles, and I'm a pickle girl, so there's a bowl right here. I'm just gonna add a couple more if that's okay with you.
For sure. The acidity actually of the pickle makes the spice level go down. So
Okay.
that's good.
All right. Good. Good. Okay. So as I'm diving into this, kind of describe all the flavors that I'm going to be biting into.
Yeah, for sure. So on the sandwich, we put coleslaw, pickles, and then our secret house-made sauce that we make fresh every single day. Right now, you got the medium spice level. I feel like that's the one that most people order.
Medium spice. I got my mouth full.
Sorry.
Wow. So good. I love all the flavors. Not too spicy because I don't like a lot of spice. I can't handle a lot of spice. So
Gotcha.
This is perfect. Wow.
Yeah.
So crispy. The chicken is perfect and moist. Wow. Woo! Great job. Why were you where did you get the Nashville bug to do the Nashville style chicken?
Yeah, so I tried out a bunch of spots in Nashville and in LA. And like I mentioned before, it was something that was missing in the Bay Area, and we're proud to be one of the first to actually introduce a fully Nashville hot chicken based menu in San Jose.
Delicious. Okay, what's next for Chicken Drip?
Yeah, for sure. So we're working on expanding. Right now we have 3 stores. We're planning on expanding to all across the Bay Area, basically. And this really wouldn't have happened without everybody's support, honestly. We appreciate every single customer that's came, whether you came in one time to try us or you're a regular. We really appreciate that. And I want to say that my staff also thanks you guys, because you guys' support is what gives us the ability to pay them a living wage. And that's the money that they use to pay their bills or support their families. So I just want to thank everybody for that. But yeah, we're definitely we're definitely trying to get into more spots in the Bay Area and just expand from there, honestly.
Okay, so coming soon, maybe a neighborhood near you, right? Well, this was all delicious. Thank you for bringing such an incredible spread.
Of course.
It was so, so good. And cheers. We didn't even talk about the drinks, but I'll cheers you.
For sure. You got the mango lemonade, I got the strawberry melon. We just introduced these. They're a must try.
Cheers to that. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
For sure.
To learn more about Chicken Drip, head over to our website, liveinthebay.tv. We will post their information there. Stay right here. After the break, we'll take a look at what's coming up tomorrow on the show. But first, here's what you can catch tonight here on KRON4 Live in the Bay. We'll be right back. Tomorrow on Live in the Bay, grab the leash and join the fun with Pack Walk SF as dozens of dogs take over Market Street. Then discover how Interwoven is building connection and community across cultures. That does it for us today. If you miss anything, you can head to our website, liveinthebay.tv. Thank you so much to all of our guests, and thank you so much to Chicken Drip. We got the #2 right here. I've taken a bite earlier. I got to finish it, and Zach said I have to have the sauce. The sauce is king. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great afternoon. Bye.